Hey everybody, welcome to episode 5 of my CrackPack modded Minecraft Let's Build series, where we build a military base, even though we haven't built a whole lot of military stuff so far, other than a couple of huts. Last episode, we worked on some more of the power plant here, and I've been doing some work on it. We did build this capsule, which would hold a reactor, I guess, in a real nuclear power plant. I ended up going over with a bit of banding and some hazard tape just to add a little bit of flair to it. I think I did plan on working on another building today, and we are going to get to that. Thank you, dog, for your input. But first, I wanted to get a couple things done, or at least one thing done here at the power plant before we move on. We're at least going to break ground on a new building, but we'll talk about that in a bit. First of all, I wanted to show this right here. Got a concrete pad. There's something that I've been wanting to build for the nuclear, or I guess it is a nuclear power plant, for a while. Originally planned on doing like a cooling tower, but it wouldn't have fit in very well, and I couldn't get a design I liked. So I want to build a thinner cooling tower, which I've been screwing around with and made a kind of template for in creative, and I came up with something I really liked. So we're going to get working on that. It's going to take a lot of micro blocks, so I'm not going to build it on camera. I'm just going to show you where we stand in a few different spots and then be done with it. But first of all, I want to get a little bit of materials gathered up and go from there. So I'll see you in 1 second. So we're just going to do the most basic building of the tower here on camera real quick. Nothing super special. I'm using the concrete right now because I haven't come up with a block that I actually like. For the effect, we're going to use these hollow marble slabs, though. And this is going to hopefully not be a nightmare. There's only 40 of them. This won't be a super tall tower, especially because we're starting pretty high up. I couldn't figure out where I wanted to put this because we're a little bit cramped on space, in a way. I was thinking over there, perhaps putting it there, or maybe putting it on another side of the building, but I didn't like that idea. And then I thought about putting it here, and whether I wanted to dig all the way down. I kind of didn't want to do that, so I figured I'd choose just a kind of random height on the grass and the dirt there and go from there. And now in retrospect, I think I like the way it's turning out, so I wanted it to be fairly high. Higher than the building for sure, and higher than the reactor. And it looks just like a dirt pillar right now, but it will look much different very soon. I've got a bunch of marble to turn into micro blocks with, and then go to town on it. I'd like one thing I wanted to do was, because I keep saying I'm going to do it, is to show a picture what this here, this capsule thing is supposed to look like, and I also want to show a picture of like the idea I have for this. Some nuclear power plants have the hyperboloid or whatever cooling towers, like you would see if you've ever watched The Simpsons. Like Homer's nuclear power plant has 2 of them. It's like a common thing. But some of them have much thinner exhaust towers or cooling towers. I actually don't know exactly what the purpose of the tower is, but the ones I'm looking at were like at the Fukushima power plant in Japan has some like this, and I've seen some in different pictures of different nuclear plants. So I'll hopefully put on a example of what I mean, and then it'll make more sense. But I'm going to get to work now that it's getting night, and we'll be back here in a moment and see where we've gotten. So the cooling tower is almost done. We just have some final touches to do. And then, I guess the unveiling. There's just a little bit of random crap to put on it to make it look a little better. And it'll be ready to go. And we can move on to the next thing. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. Micro blocks. There we go. So yeah, it's looking really good, although I haven't actually seen it, so I haven't seen it in its entirety, completely built. I generally like partially build stuff in my planning phase, and I like the way it looked there, so hopefully when it's all unveiled it'll look great, so we'll both see it for the first time, all of us. I'm going to have a couple little things to add that I think will be just its little, just to improve its character. There we go. It's the last one. Let's take a quick look at it. I ended up adding just a little bit of color right on top, just a little black. Doesn't look like much right now, does it? It's all dirt. But once we unveil it, let's see what it looks like. So I did, in the meantime, before I started working on this, I actually did a little more work on the capsule over there, and I actually found out that it's called a containment building, which makes sense. You're trying to contain the radiation. So we knew that it was a reactor, so that's no surprise. And we'll take a look at that real quick in a moment. So, almost got all of this. There we go. And somewhere there's dirt hanging on. So take a quick look back. And I totally missed one row. So we could do that real quick. And maybe we'll find that dirt somewhere. I hope I can get out of here actually once this is done. I don't want those, I want those. No, I do want those. Whoops. It is a lot harder to build when stuck using it with the when I'm trying to think and talk using the jetpack hover mode. Oh, why can't I get this dirt? It is somewhere and it's gonna bug me until it's gone. But let's take a look. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I mean, it's not supposed to be anything really special, but it's really hard to tell. It does taper a little bit. I couldn't really taper it much more than that. There's a couple more additions to do down here especially. We have these supposed to go here. And then I have some concrete somewhere. My inventory is so full right now. I usually don't like having this full of an inventory. Just to give everything a little more character. Then we have these posts are going to go like that. And probably have to make some more. Those are totally the wrong the wrong material. I totally messed that up. That should be enough. That's too big. That's what we want right there. Okay, now it looks like it's on the ground. It's well secured. And one last thing to do is to take these covers here, and we're going to try to do this without screwing it up entirely. What I want it to do is look like these are helping to support it. And I wish I had some scaffolding set up instead of flying, but this is what happens when I try to do something on camera. So I haven't used these factory blocks yet, these shiny ones, but I figured this would be a good enough place as any. It helps fit the theme for the base. If you haven't figured it out yet, we're doing things all in a very light color generally, just because it helps blend in with the snow, and I just do that again. There we go. So, yeah, I can get on top. The snow, you know, it's military base, kind of. We're in a remote Arctic environment, although it's actually a taiga. I almost built in an Arctic, but I couldn't find one that I liked. My criteria for this was to build somewhere that was snowy and an island, and this was the best I could find. And actually, I'm pretty happy with the location. So we'll finish up just one more, two more layers. And then one final add-on once this is done. So I guess I should have made all of those. Microblocks constantly. They're so resource intensive. So yeah, we're planning to get some work done on a workshop today, right after this is done. So that helps add quite a bit to it actually and breaks it up. And then finally, what we're going to do is take these. I got some clouds. And we're going to try to make a bit of a cloud thing going up. I didn't want that one. Well, maybe. No. I probably should have got more clouds. It's just a cooling tower, so it'll be pretty much just like steam coming out of here. Nothing too special. I really don't want much coming out. Just like a wisp. I'll work on that later. See what I can come up with. But now we're gonna move on, I guess, to the next part. I don't think anything can spawn up here, so we're good. And we have a cooling tower. A little bit of steam coming out. Oh wait. There was one last thing I wanted to do, and I totally forgot. Got these for a reason. Put that there, and then have some fluid ducts. They're actually not going to be going anywhere, so this is just for decoration, but we actually I kind of wanted to go some other direction. Maybe something like this. It's going to go into there. And we could have another sort of intake thing. And then I'm planning to put some covers on it, but I haven't figured out which covers I want yet. But just like that. So it looks like it's actually part of the building and doing its job. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And I think it's going to add a lot of character to the build. I mean, it's not really something you'd really notice unless you're looking for it, I guess. But it's kind of, because it kind of belongs there. And that's kind of important to me. So, one last thing before we move on to the next project is I did end up adding a ladder here going up with a little, I changed out the top a little bit, kind of like some of the pictures I saw, and I wanted the way up. So we got that. Today, otherwise, we're going to work on a workshop, or at least dig the hole for it. I'm planning to put it over here. So we're going to have the road curve through here this way. We're going to have the entrance to the workshop here. And then it's going to actually be dug out kind of big. It's almost going to be, I don't know, not as big as that building, but it'll be pretty big. I originally planned for it to be a building that included Tinker's Construct Smeltery and a Tinker's Steelworks high oven and a tank. And then also all my thermal expansion machines, and also I wanted to do mechanism stuff somewhere. But my project was getting way too big. So what I ended up doing was deciding to just do a smeltery. That's going to be the workshop. So we're going to build it into the ground, and then another building somewhere around here is going to be at the factory. So we'll have a workshop, and then we'll have a factory, and the factory will have all of the thermal expansion and mechanism stuff. And it'll actually be pretty close to where the supply depot is going to be over here, so that'll be good. But yeah, we're going to take a cut now, and I'm going to get some digging done, and I'll show you what we have when it's ready. So, see you in a second. So, sitting here working on the cloud, well, the smoke, or whatever, and then realized I had to get some more, and then I was looking at the tower, and I didn't like having just horizontal crossbeams throughout it, so I went and replaced most of them with this angular or L-shaped cross members throughout the thing, and I like it way more. It matches more with the bottom too. It looks a million times better to me. I don't know what you guys think. So just wanted to pop on real quick before we get to what else we're going to work on and show you this. I also noticed that a lot of my keyboard and mouse sounds are coming through. I have a new setup right now, well, a temporary setup really, because my mic stand broke. So my microphone is right next to my keyboard and it's probably picking up everything, all the sounds I make. So apologize for that. Hopefully I'll get that fixed pretty soon. So back to working on the workshop, and I'll see you in a second. Hey everybody, we're back, and I wanted to show you at least the very basic layout of the building before I start, before I break ground and before I start getting some work done on this. I think this episode's going to go up later this week because Watch Dogs came out, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned that open world games are my favorite genre, so I've been playing that quite a bit and then neglecting everything else. But I am still working on this. I just have a lot of digging to do, and that's going to be really boring. So basically I just wanted to show you where it's going to be and about how big. It'll be down the road from the power plant there. Originally thought about having it more, it's going to be like a T-shaped building, and a little pit, the lower part of the T is right here. I was originally thinking of having it stick out towards the road, but just the shape of the building and the location means I had to turn it 90 degrees, but I think it'll actually be better this way. And it'll still give me a lot of space between the power plant and this for the supply depot slash docks over there, and then something else is going to go here. I haven't figured out if I want to put a factory there yet or what. That's something I'll get to after this building is done. So I'm going to start digging. One thing is I don't have to do too much digging because there's actually a ravine right below it. Actually probably have to do more filling in than anything. So the building itself is about 20 high, kind of. And so I'm going to have to put a floor in for that. But I'm going to get to work and we'll be back momentarily to show you, I guess, what I've done. Okay, welcome back. So I recorded the second half of this episode in its entirety, only to discover that DX Story didn't want to actually record the episode because my microphone was partially unplugged and was throwing some weird error, and I couldn't figure out what in the world was happening after I discovered that nothing recorded, and I restarted actually reinstalled DX Story and still didn't work, and then I ended up eventually restarting my computer because I had to wait for a video to upload to YouTube. So we get to kind of do it again. Hooray! Right now I'm cooking some grout up to make seared bricks because I need a ton of it. This is going to be pretty short because I can't really do the work that I had done on camera before over again because of things I need to do. We'll go take a look at what's been accomplished. Over here is what is going to become the combined, I guess I'm calling it the workshop, or it's going to be a smeltery slash foundry kind of place. And yeah, it's all done in carpenter's blocks, and it's going to have this texture on the outside that's kind of like the same as one of the Quonset huts we did, that kind of supposed to look kind of like corrugated metal. So it took me about over 1,000 carpenter's blocks and then over 1,000 pieces of marble, and then me going through and doing this is me doing most of the tedious work with a chisel, going block by block. Luckily with the carpenter's chisel, which I don't have on me right now, if you right click it takes damage, if you left click it doesn't. So theoretically you can make one last a really long time if you're careful with it. And that's what I did here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to eventually have a Tinker's Construct Smeltery right about there, and then a Tinker's Steelworks High Oven right about here, and then I want to have a Tinker's Steelworks deep tank in this vicinity. It'll be filled just with steel. And we need to make the smeltery first so we can make the high oven because the blocks required. The scorched high oven bricks require you to pour seared stone over brick, and for that we need to have the actual Tinker's Construct going on. It took me a few days to get this done. There were some points where I was just not wanting to do it because they recently added infernal mobs to the pack, and it added infernal silverfish, of which there are already too many silverfish in this biome for some reason. I could break a 3x3 area of blocks and 9 silverfish will come out to try to murder me. And the infernal ones will one-shot me even though I have extra hearts. Yeah, so it turns out those infernal mobs have a debuff called Rust, which will damage anything that can take durability. So it was actually damaging my exo armor here, which isn't actually supposed to take damage. It has durability, but it's not supposed to take damage. And what it did is my jetpack was low enough that it actually destroyed my jetpack, thanks to that. So that's actually a bug. They're going to fix it in the next update for the pack, probably, because it's damaging things like Thaumcraft armor and power suits, which aren't supposed to take damage, including this stuff. So hopefully we'll fix that soon. And right now you can just turn it off in the config file. So thankfully we could do that. Trying to remember what I was talking about. So we're not going to have a staircase or anything. I'm going to do an elevator here. And what I did do on camera before was show you this. So I'm going to have a band of a gray going through here, and then a band of red, and then the top will just be the default color. And there's a lot of microblocks that I'm going to add, so don't think yet that this is even close to what it's finished. The smeltery is going to go through the roof, and we're going to have a smokestack, and then I'm going to do about a sort of a partial factory roof. If you ever saw my Building a Sand series, I built a pumpkin pie factory, and I had an angled roof on that. It'll look kind of like that. We'll see. Next episode, I actually plan on working on it. This episode is going out a lot later than I wanted to. I wanted to get this up last week, and it didn't happen. And I wanted to get it done. I worked on smokestack over there, and then it took me a week to work on this, get this ready to go, and it didn't happen. And then Sunday I put out a vlog, and I was going to do it then. It didn't happen. Monday, I'm recording this Tuesday morning early, and Monday was my anniversary, so I didn't get anything done Monday. So I really wanted to get this video up, and I recorded the whole thing and doing work of me going down and talking about what I was doing and putting all the colors on and all that stuff. So what this is carpenter's blocks, and you can actually color the carpenter's blocks using dye. And I need to actually collect quite a bit more dye, but in the meantime, I have some, not enough. I have enough for more red. I could probably get most of the red done before collecting, but I am out of ink sacs, so I had to go and collect quite a few of those and probably hunt down skeletons because I'm going to need more bones. Actually, I think I have bones somewhere. So that's my next project, is for the next episode, is to get the coloring done and a lot of the micro blocks, and then we're going to build the smelteries, and we're going to build the elevator that I'm going to put here, and maybe work on the roof because I want to get some stuff done on camera. But unfortunately, this second half of the episode isn't going to go on as long as I had originally planned, thanks to recording issues. Not much has changed over here. I think I put a lip around some of the doors. That one didn't get it because of the fence. I did end up putting one final touch on the smokestack, is that one piece of slab right here. It just gives a little bit more character right on top. I like the way it looks. So yeah, not much else has been done inside. Nothing over there. The only other thing is I put little stands for the tesseract, so it looks like they're actually being held up by something. And then there's a little more lighting. But yeah, thanks for watching. I want to get another episode up this week if I can. Should be easy enough. I want to get this episode up, of course, because it's late already. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry this episode is late and it didn't turn out how I wanted, but it's up now if you're watching it. So thanks for watching. Next episode we're going to get some actual work done, and I'll see you then, so take care.